Hey guys, welcome back. Dr. Anime here. We're going to be discussing the events of Solo Leveling, Chapter 9, and I might go into Chapter 10. I'm not 100% sure yet, depending on how much information, because 10 has a lot more information than 9 does. But anyways, going back on what the ending of Chapter 8, it would be where everyone else left them, and this is Jinwoo, Ju-Hee, and Mr. Song. So, as Jinwoo is over here, just like thinking about the fact that everyone else left him except these two, Mr. Sung tells Jinwoo and Ju-Hee to leave, and then he'll stay behind because he says at least one person would have to be still on the altar for the door to remain open. So as he asks Ju-Hee to help Jinwoo get out because Jinwoo is missing a leg, she's like, all right, and then all of a sudden she just collapses. And then Mr. Song says that, like, he spectates that it's because she used too much of her mana. Now, when I read that, I'm like, but she's the B rank. She's the highest rank out of everyone in this group, or those who went in this group. Everyone else were D rank. Jinwoo was E rank, and then the leader, who is Mr. Song, is C rank. He still has mana to use fire attacks because we saw him use it, in the battle and stuff, and he's not collapsing or anything. He's older. But he spectates that she used too much of her mana trying to heal Jinwoo's leg, like recovering it. And even before that, she was healing him when they were fighting in the regular part of the dungeon. But time passed since then, so her mana should have replenished somewhat. And I doubt it would take that much mana to heal the lowest rank, like someone of the lowest rank, because that makes no sense to me. For her to she should have more mana than anyone else there, especially being a healer. But then again, like it's all set, like they can't increase it or nothing like that. So maybe she was just, I don't know, awakened with the lower mana reserve, but I don't see like how that's possible really. And so see that's something that got me. Like, I think it was just written to make it so that she can't, help him Jinwoo leave. Sorry, I'm reading another manga where the main character's name is Jinwoo. So there's Jinwoo and then Jinwoo that I have to. Anyways, so it could also be that because of her fear that she used too much, she was just pouring a bunch of her mana trying to heal him. That's a possibility. But anyways, so she can't help Jinwoo now. So Jinwoo goes, Mr. Song, you help Ju-Hee get out of here. I'll stay. And then they were both against it. And Ju-Hee was like, no, I'll stay. You guys both go. And Jinwoo was like, I can't leave. Like, I would need someone to help me leave, kind of thing. So after seeing the look in Jinwoo's eyes, Mr. Song knocks out Ju-Hee and gives like a last minute kind of like words to Jinwoo before walking out with her. And as they walk out, the door closes, and Jinwoo is like at the altar, like is like right behind him, and he sees the sword from Mr. Kim Sang. Yeah, Kim Sang. So he picks it up and he goes, I'm going to take out at least one of you guys with me. But of course he can't because these are higher rank statues, like monsters. So he just has it like right there in front of him, like holding it. And a statue just comes in and pills him with a spear. And then another one's coming in and attacking him. And like just a spear alone should technically kill anybody the way it was, like, slashing him. You just see like him in pain and like coughing up blood and stuff. And he's just being attacked by multiple of the statues. And right before the last one was coming down with the sword, the time ran out and the last of the blue flames for the timer extinguished. And it seems like time started to slow down until it stopped. And the sword just stopped, and Jinwoo sees like a pop-up in front of him. And let me see what it says. The pop-up says, You have completed all the necessary requirements of the secret quest, and the quest name is Courage of the Weak. So that's the first game type thing that we see in this series so far. That's the very first thing. It's a pop up, like a game pop up, and it goes, you have earned the right to become a player. This is really gonna get good. All right, and then it asks him, "Will you accept?" So as Jinwoo sees this, he's over here thinking, "Wait, so I don't have to die?" And then he goes, "I don't want to die. If I accept, I don't have to die, right?" So he goes, "I accept." And then there's a bright light that engulfed Jinwoo and then engulfed the whole room. And you see like a last look of the giant Colossus statue, and it's just like no expression. It's just like looking, and it just completely emboils the whole room. And the chapter ends right there. Now, I could go more into chapter 10, but I feel like the video might be too long if I do. So I'm going to make that its own thing. And for this one, I more want to talk about the fact that this is something that's never happened to anyone else as far as Jinwoo knows about. Because he's very knowledgeable himself. Even though he's low rank, he's a smart individual. As you can see, like it was him mostly who was deciphering the way for them to escape. The lowest rank person there was the most useful. And then Mr. Song was the second most useful person there. So we know this is something that's unprecedented in this verse. And when you think become a player, some people might think it could be a game reference. Some would think, well, you could technically be a player in a sports. You could be a player, but in this role, like I don't think he knows exactly what that exactly entails. And I know he doesn't, because later on in the next chapters he shows that he doesn't. But it makes you wonder if, like, I always wonder this because I don't know for a fact, if everyone stayed and listened to Jinwoo, would they all become players as well? And if they did become players, what does that mean? No, because because I can't say. I had to talk more about it later on when we find out more about his powers for you guys, so I don't spoil anything. But I always wondered, like, if someone else stayed with him and would they become a player too, or would they have to choose between them? Like, would, like, say one person get killed, like they're the last two, but one person actually died before the time ran out, and then the other person was still left alive, kind of thing. We don't know, but actually no, because if they were all still there, then the statues wouldn't have been moving. It's only because everyone left there wasn't enough eyes to look at the statues. So if they all stayed, then all of them should have become players. Especially if Ju-Hee and Mr. Song stayed as well. Like, they're like, nah, we're gonna stay with you. But Ju-Hee, she did say that she was gonna stay, and so that the other two could leave. But if those three stayed, like, I kind of wanted them to now, to see like what would have happened. Like, if they became players, you would have had a healer, a mage, and then a fighter. That would be a dope thing right there. All you really need is another warrior who will act as a defense, like the tank, and that's a whole group right there that you need that covers all areas: a healer, a range fighter, a close range fighter, and then someone for defense who can protect the healer. But that's just me over here just talking to talk. Let me know what you thought about this chapter 9 of Solo Leveling, and comment down below, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.